The First Nations and Inuit Health Branch continues to provide effective, sustainable, and culturally appropriate health programs and services that contribute to the reduction of gaps in health status between First Nations and Inuit and other Canadians. And I would like to remind everyone that improving the health of Indigenous people in Canada is a shared responsibility between federal, provincial, territorial, and Indigenous partners. I would also like to acknowledge that summer is fast approaching, a time of year that is usually marked by sacred ceremonies and events that are very important to Indigenous peoples across the country. While banning sun dances, potlatches, among other Indigenous cultural and spiritual practices is unfortunately a dark stain on Canada's history, I want to ensure everyone listening that even in the face of a historic pandemic, Canada must not and will not prohibit these important practices. Any decision to cancel or postpone these events is a decision that is solely at the discretion of the community's leadership. I would, however, like to reiterate the importance of the public health measures that we have been repeating since the beginning of this pandemic. Together, we can slow the spread of COVID-19 by making a conscious effort to keep a physical distance between each other, avoiding crowded spaces and contact with people at higher risk, such as elders. First Nations leadership will ultimately decide how to proceed safely in this context, and I would like to encourage leaders to develop guidelines in alignment with the best available public health practice to adapt these ceremonies. We need to remain vigilant, and the challenge that we all face as a society as restrictions are lifted, it is very difficult from a political perspective to ask Indigenous peoples to do something that we ourselves would not be prepared to do. And that reflection is very important as we look at the various measures that need to be taken and supporting individual leadership in taking the decisions that are proper to them and that they see are the most important to their communities.